All right, everyone, good evening. I'll call this meeting to order. If you are here for the City Council meeting, for the March 13th meeting for the City of Columbia, you are in the right place. Before we move into that meeting, we do have just one public hearing on tonight's public hearing docket, that being public hearing number 1, public hearing on ordinance number 4540, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 24-25 budget ordinance number 4503, providing for revisions to the general capital projects, grants, and wastewater funds. Anyone in the audience this evening wish to be heard on public hearing number 1? Seeing none, anyone on council wish to be heard on public hearing number 1? Hearing none, entertain a motion to close public hearing number 1.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey?
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom?
Aye.
Mayor Mulber?
Aye. Public hearing number 1 is now closed. Now we will move into our regular meeting for tonight, March 13th, 2025's City of Columbia's March Council meeting. We'd like to say a special welcome to all of those in the room. Nothing makes me more proud than to look out to a packed room of people who are bringing down the average age of all of us on this council chambers. And so particularly what I just said there is I'm glad to see all the young people in the audience this evening, and we're excited to be able to honor a couple of you here momentarily. I would now, as I call it to order, ask for a roll call. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Here.
Mr. Huffman?
Here.
Mr. Marshall?
Here.
Mr. McKelvey?
Here.
Ms. Seacrest?
Here.
Vice Mayor McBroom?
Here.
Mayor Mulber?
Here, let the record reflect all members of council are present. Next item on our agenda is the invocation by Andrew Phillips of Graymere Church of Christ. Mr. Phillips, welcome this evening. If you will come forward to the lectern for your invocation. And as he's coming forward, I would ask all of you in the audience who are able to please stand. And please remain standing for the conclusion of the invocation, where we will have the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led tonight by Council Member Davina Hardison.
Okay. Please bow with me. Father in heaven, we come before you tonight, grateful for your blessings. As we feel the warm weather outside, we're reminded of your creation, and we're thankful to live where we do. And we thank you for this city and for all those who work to make it operate smoothly. Father, I pray for all those that are in this room, that work on this council, that put in all kinds of hours and effort to make sure that things that need to happen will happen. I pray that you would continue to be with them and give them wisdom and decisions that they make. And Father, in a room filled with family and with students from our community, we're so grateful for the blessings of the families in Columbia. And we pray that you would be with all those students with their achievements and accomplishments, and as they continue to grow, that those achievements would continue as well. Father, we know that anytime we gather together in a room like this, there are those who are hurting and dealing with challenges. I pray that you would be with all of them, and that you would be with all of us, that we could set the kind of example in this community of love and of selflessness and of fellowship that you call us to. We thank you for all the blessings that you've given us, and we thank you for your son, Jesus. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
Amen. If we can turn towards the back. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, that takes us to item 4, approval of agenda. Entertain a motion to approve the agenda. It's been moved. It's been properly seconded. Let me just add this item for purposes of discussion and clarification. In the event any of you are here this evening that are wishing to speak on the topic of short-term rentals, that would pertain to items 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.5, again pertaining to short-term rentals in the City of Columbia, which has been a topic of discussion for the last several months, and which is up for second consideration. When we hear those items have actually will be deferred to the April meeting for purposes of complying with statutory public notice requirements that were changed in the last legislative session. So we had to comply with state law. We will be making a motion to defer on items 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, and 10.5. And as you may know, There is no discussion that is allowed on a motion to defer other than the deferral itself. So there will be no discussion here this evening on those items. So all of that to say, if you are here for that issue and that issue alone, I'm just trying to save you a little bit of time and let you know that we'll be back on that topic for the April council meeting. With that said, there's been a motion and properly seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison.
Aye.
Mr. Huffman.
Aye.
Mr. Marshall.
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey. Ms. Sechrist.
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom. Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, presentations. Two very exciting presentations this evening, beginning with item 5.1, presentation of proclamations to the Columbia Central High School Game Day Cheer Squad. And my bias on Columbia Central High School is known. Actually, with that said, if you were on this council and you attended, or the city manager attended Columbia Central High School, raise your hand. I know we have a few CHS alums, and so I just wanted the record to reflect to those in the crowd, the alums that are serving your city that also walked the same halls, not literally, but proverbially that you all did. And it's always exciting when any of the schools in our community achieve great heights and do good things. And I think that it's important that we highlight the youth in our community, because there's a lot of negativity and a lot of pessimism out there. And I think that that's because we don't promote the positive enough. And one of the most positive things that I see on a daily basis, whether or not it be I spend time with young kids in preschool at First Start, which I've done, or seniors in high school, which I've done, and everybody in between. I see that firsthand. We do as a council, and really our future is bright because of the magnitude of our youth in our community. Sounds like we have lost the mic. That means it's time for me to stop talking. But I would ask for the Columbia Central High School cheer squad and their team and coaches to please meet City Council in the well with me for a special presentation. All right. Ladies, come on up. I was hoping y'all were going to wear your white jackets, by the way, so I'm glad that y'all got that memo. I understand that in addition to bringing home a gold medal when you're the national champions, it must be that you also get these special jackets to wear, and I guess the only person that gets the white jacket is the national champion. Is that right? So it's a pretty big flex to be able to wear your white jacket around. Well, congratulations, first of all, ladies. We're proud of y'all. As an alum of Central, I'm very proud. Obviously, as the mayor of Central, I'm very proud, but even just as a friend to many of you who I know a number of you, I'm also proud on a personal level, and I know I certainly share that on behalf of all of City Council. I do want to just briefly go through the names on the roster as they were provided. Kate Inslee, Miss Malone, pronounce your first name. Jariah, I didn't want to mispronounce it. Jariah Malone, Morgan Anderson, McKenna Stafford, Jaslyn Webster, Summer Wiss, Annabelle Cook, Emma Kate Perwanto, Raylyn Gates, Emery Whitaker, Nevaeh Bell, Iris Marshall, Landry Floyd, Jayla Voigt, sorry. I could hear the disappointment. Addie Grace Hogue, Addie Darnell, Camiria Goff, Baylor Albright, Audrey Hooker, Kenzie Lyles, Karma Booker, Lexi Stanfill, Macy Burgett, Terry Lynn Staggs, and coaches Jennifer Burgett and Barry Lynn Staggs. And so that is your roster. Let's give the roster and coaches a round of applause. And now we have a proclamation, and I will tell y'all at the conclusion why we dated this for tomorrow. But I would like to read this proclamation, if you will. Proclamation for the 24-25 Columbia Central High School Game Day Cheer Team, Medium Varsity Non-Tumbling Division I. Did I get that right? All right. Whereas the 2024-2025 Columbia Central High School Game Day Cheer Team, coached by Coach Jennifer Burgett and Barry Lynn Staggs, are to be recognized and commended for their outstanding season. Whereas the Central High School Game Day Cheer Team won first place at the Space Center Regionals, along with first place at the Middle Tennessee Regionals. The National High School Cheerleading Championship in Orlando, Florida is a goal that coaches and cheer teams across the country compete. Columbia Central High School was able to secure a spot to compete at nationals by receiving their bid through their performance at cheer competitions throughout their season. The Game Days team's excellent performance in prelims earned them a spot straight to finals. The cheer team won its first ever National High School Cheerleading Championship title under the guidance and leadership of these coaches and this team. This is the first time that a National High School Cheerleading Championship has been won by a team in Columbia, Tennessee. The 2024-25 Columbia Central High School Game Day Cheer Team and coaches have shown professionalism, commitment, sportsmanship, determination, and dedication that has brought positive recognition not only to themselves, but to the Columbia Central High School and the City of Columbia and all of Maury County. Whereas the City of Columbia wishes to thank and recognize the entire Central High School Game Day Cheer Team and coaches for their outstanding 2025 Game Day season. Now, therefore, I, Chaz Mulder, Mayor of the City of Columbia, and on behalf of the Vice Mayor and all of City Council, do hereby proclaim Columbia Central High School Game Day Cheer Team Day in Columbia, Tennessee on Friday, March 14th, 2025, and urge all citizens to join. Let's hear it for this team. All right, so what I wanted to tell y'all is we made this for March 14th instead of March 13th. I had a little birdie in my ear tell me that maybe y'all would like to be able to have these and take them to school and let everybody know that it's y'all's day tomorrow instead of the day already being over. So I'm going to give these proclamations to your coaches, and they are for all of y'all. Tomorrow is your day in Columbia, Tennessee. I don't know if that'll get them out of a traffic ticket. Probably not, Chief. But if you wear your gold medal and tell me you attended city council meeting, maybe at least they might give you a second chance or a warning ticket in any event. But just don't speed. That's the best advice to get out of a speeding ticket. All right, Coach, I know I'd mentioned maybe one of y'all and or a teammate could maybe say a few words, or are we just going to go with the teammate? All right, come on up. Who's going to speak? All right, here we go. We have a senior, and if you'll share a few words with us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Inslee. I'm captain along with Morgan Anderson of this cheer team. I wanted to say thank you to our school and to our coaches, and this team has really made a huge difference in, the history of Columbia Central High School. Sorry, I get emotional talking about these things because I've cheered for 12 years, and this team has just impacted my life. Barry Lynn, my coach, she's definitely also made a huge impact on my life. I want to say thank you to every one of these girls, and I'm super proud of everybody. And a huge thank you to our parents, our biggest supporters. They started Lion Nation before we came out to finals, and that definitely got us hyped up. Columbia Central is a big school, and practice space was not always the easiest thing to find, but we were able to work around that, and past the struggles, past all the hardships, we were able to create history in Maury County. So I want to say thank you to our community and everybody around us. Thank you for all the support, and also thank you to my teammates for being there and being there for each other and just creating history.
Very good job. Thank you for those kind words and your emotion. I think it's all of us, especially those of us who love Central, who love this community, and who happen to also be dads and parents. It's very inspirational. I'm very proud of you and for speaking up tonight, and proud of all of you as well. And so, again, we thank you for representing our community. You brought recognition that this community has never had before. It may seem sort of trivial, but we just wanted to have you here to let you know how proud we were of you. And by the way, you mentioned some facility needs. You may know that we just recently acquired the Columbia Aquatic and Recreation Center, and we do have a gymnasium. And I don't know, Mac Reagan's here, so if y'all need some space to practice, touch base with our Parks and Rec department, and perhaps we can provide a location. Okay, thank y'all so much. Let's hear it again for me. And this is when I tell y'all it would not be awkward if you leave. You don't have to stay. However, I bet Hannah wants a group photo. This is going to be a very tough group photo because there's so many of you. I have to say, too, by the way, they know how to do that. Okay. I'm impressed that there was such a large crowd. I figured that there's so many activities going on in the springtime that we wouldn't have this many, and I'm very impressed that you all took the time to come here. Frankly, that's an honor to us that you would spend these 15 to 45 minutes, however long it's been with us. So thank you so much for being here. Let's do a quick group photo.
Yes, please. I would love to get council members. I would love for everybody to be in front front of the podium if possible.
And we'll hold that together. You're the other captain.
Yes, sir. Get up.
All right, everybody on this side, squeeze in, squeeze in. Squeeze in a little. All right.
Please don't fall.
3, 2, and 1. More. 3, 2, and 1.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Chaz. Yes.
The family photo.
We expect Holy Academy to be down there this year.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, we do have another special presentation this evening that we're going to stay down here for because this is also a very important one. And I know some of our council members are actually involved in this. I regret I was not able to be there for that. It was a few Saturdays ago on the Youth of the Year. If you follow Boys and Girls Club, you know about the Youth of the Year. And over the years, we've had several very good candidates who have applied for that and who have been nominated and have to go through a rigorous process to be selected. And then from there, they go to the state conference, which actually was just this week. Is that right? And I believe I read yesterday that the statewide winner was from maybe Gatlinburg. But I guess which one of you were representing the local club? Okay, so you probably were all involved in that. I know all of y'all were there representing Columbia. And as I told the cheerleaders, you know, at the end of the day, we look for positivity. And what y'all represented in being a candidate, you represented your community, you represented your city. And I think that's something that's very important. And again, we get to see the positive out of that. And so I do have their names that I'd like to read before we take a quick photo. Kelsey Judd. Kelsey, where are you? There you are again. Okay. Freshman at Columbia Central High School, club member since the second grade, member of the Columbia High School Collegiate Academy. Maria Dominguez. All right. Tell me how to pronounce that. Mariella. I could tell by your disappointed face that I messed that up. So I apologize, Mariella. That's a beautiful name. Freshman at Columbia Central High School, club member for 1 year, member of CHS Collegiate Academy. Emily, how do you pronounce your last name? Nalig. She's a junior at Columbia Central High School, club member for 8 years, and proud medalist in Murray County Special Olympics. Junior Kratz. All right. 8th grader at Whitthorne Middle School, has been a club member for 2 years, teen center ambassador. And Paulisha Radley, 8th grader at E.A. Cox. Paulisha has been a club member for 6 years, proud varsity member of the Cox Middle School basketball team. I watched several of those games this season. They were all candidates, as mentioned, for our local Youth of the Year, which is our highest honor and the culmination of the premier character and leadership program. They were chosen for their commitment to academic success, good character and citizenship, and also healthy lifestyles. Kelsey Judd was the 2025 Youth of the Year and competed for the statewide title, and I understand Kelsey represented very well. I think they all got to attend the festivities, however, and so that's a special bonus also. We have the executive director of the club here along with other members from the club and the youth as well. If we would invite y'all to come up, maybe Jenny Wright, if you could say a few words, and then we're going to ask Kelsey to also say something. So Jenny, all of y'all, please.
Just wanted to quickly reiterate how proud the Boys and Girls Club in the city of Columbia is of these fine young people. They represented Columbia at our statewide events incredibly. In fact, Kelsey inducted a Boys and Girls Club Hall of Fame member in front of 246 people, which is pretty impressive to me. I get nervous in front of 20 people, let alone 246. And we just want to say we are so appreciative for the support of the city of Columbia and its council in particular, because we had great representation from our council at our local Youth of the Year event. So we are very grateful, and I'll ask Kelsey to come and say a few words on behalf of our candidates.
Hi, my name is Kelsey, and I'm so incredibly grateful and proud to be the 2025 Youth of the Year. All of my other competitors were so kind and so hardworking. They have taught me so much. And I also want to say thank you to everyone else, especially all of you guys, for all the support and all the amazing things you've done for the Boys and Girls Club. I know we wouldn't be here without you, so thank you.
Also very well said. So now y'all come on up. We're going to get a photo before y'all leave. Y'all come on around, council. Here we go.
I also told them all they could be casual. They've been dressed close.
We welcome all.
Count of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
All right, let's give them a round of applause. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all.
Yeah, but he helped get started.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for your indulgence on those important presentations that do mean a lot to them and to our community as a whole as well. We'll now move into organizational business. Excuse me. I'm going to blame it on the vice mayor if I start coughing, by the way. Item 6.1, approve the minutes of the February 13, 2025 City Council meeting.
Motion.
It's been moved and there's been a proper second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall? Aye. Mr. McKelvey? Ms. Sechrist?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. That item is approved. Next item is 6.2, approve the retirement benefits for Derek Cathy, foreman, sewer rehabilitation.
Second.
It's been moved, properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall? Aye. Mr. McKelvey? Ms. Sechrist?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom?
Aye.
Mayor Mulder?
Aye, that item is approved. We now move to section 7, consent agenda. These items that are deemed non-controversial and or not requiring additional discussion, if any. I will read on all of them collectively, and then we'll vote on them as a collective block, items 7.1 through 713. If there's any matter that needs to come out of the consent agenda, please advise before making the motion to approve. That first up, 7.1, approve disbursements for the month of January 2025 in the amount of $909,594.95. Item 7.2, approve and authorize the disposal of surplus equipment. Item 7.3, acceptance of annual reports of City of Columbia Employees Retirement Plan Fund and the City of Columbia, Tennessee Retirement Health Insurance Post-Employment Benefit Trust for the period ending December 31, 2024. Item 7.4, approve change order number 1 with Morrison Engineering LLC for engineering services related to the City of Columbia parking garage rehabilitation project, which increases the contract amount by $2,250. Item 7.5, approve and authorize the mayor to execute change order 1 with Nickel Company LLC for the CDBG sidewalk improvements with a decrease in the amount of $154,264.98. That's wards 2 and 3. Item 7.6, approve the fiscal year 2024-2025 street resurfacing list, wards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Item 7.7, approve bid award to Hawkins and Price LLC for the construction of Carter's Creek Force Main relocation in the amount of $489,755. Item 7.8, approve the purchase of a 2025 mini excavator from RJV Kubota in the amount of $56,580.35, utilizing Sourcewell contract 112642. Item 7.9, approve and authorize the mayor to sign the contract between the City of Columbia and the Cumberland Valley Constructors, Inc. for the construction of the Bear Creek Pike Sewage Pump Station replacement in the amount of $5,272,800. Item 7.10, approve bid award to Integration Technology for 100-foot radio tower in the amount of $115,875. 7-11, ratify the emergency repair of sewer lines of Fire Station 4 at 5040 Trotwood Avenue in the amount of $55,989. Item 7.12, approve and authorize the mayor to sign the non-exclusive use and occupancy permit between the City of Columbia and the Murray County School Board of Education. And the final item, 7.13, approve the bid award to S&W Contracting Company, LLC, for mast arm replacement downtown in the amount of $1,308,800. That is the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve? Motion's been made, and there's been a proper second. I just want to point out that we do have the opportunity to discuss these items at study session, and I appreciate the many presentations that we had on a lot of these items, and so therefore they're able to go to the consent agenda. But also just want to again point out how pleased I am, particularly with item 7.6 regarding the street resurfacing list and the investment that we're making in our infrastructure with that allocation, and also want to say that I really appreciate the social media post that was made this week from our City of Columbia account regarding the not only the investment, but also clarifying and pointing out what our responsibility is regarding city roads as it pertains to and compares to county highways and or state and federal roads. So I really appreciate that, Mr. Massey. I just wanted to point that out. And then finally also 7.13, the mast arm replacement in downtown, I think is going to be a very nice enhancement to the downtown district, and it's time for that. So the motion's been made, properly seconded. Any other discussion on the consent agenda? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey?
Aye.
Ms. Sechrist?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, next section would be the Section 8 administration, beginning with 8.1, approve the O'Connors versus City of Columbia settlement agreement.
Move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey?
Aye.
Ms. Sechrist?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 8.2, Resolution 2519, a resolution to accept the street and drainage improvements in Chase Point Park Subdivision, Section 1 for ownership and maintenance.
Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on that? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey?
Aye.
Ms. Sechrist?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, Section 9, resolutions, beginning with 9.1, Resolution Number 2510, a resolution to authorize the mayor to sign automatic response aid of fire services with Murray County, Tennessee Fire Department.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on that item? I just want to again point out what I said at study session, that I believe this represents the first time we've ever had a formal relationship with Murray County with respect to fire services. Is that right, Chief? I mean, I think that there's probably been circumstances in the past where either we've rendered aid or vice versa. But this represents, in my opinion, a very important step forward with regards to relationships, public safety-wise, with our county counterparts. We know that CPD has a fantastic relationship with our Sheriff's Department, and then now our other major first responding outlet being Columbia Fire and Rescue, having a similar sort of arrangement is something that I'm really proud of. And you know, I think we stress that a lot, and we all do better when we're all working together. And so thank you, both Columbia Fire and CPD for that matter, for continuing those good relationships. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.2, Resolution 2516, to accept the ownership and maintenance of sewer improvements serving Summer at Carter Station West Phase 3.
Move to approve.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.3, Resolution 2517, tax corrections.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Next item, 9.4, Resolution 2518, a resolution to accept the ownership and maintenance of sewer improvements serving Honey Farm Crossing.
So moved. Second.
It's been moved and properly seconded. Any discussion on item 9.4? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, and that item is approved. Next item, 9.5, Resolution 2520, to authorize the City of Columbia to apply for the State of Tennessee Small Cities Community Development Block Grant Program, accept the award, and authorize the mayor to execute documents related to accepting and administering the grant project.
Move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilmember Hardison, properly seconded by Councilmember McKelvey. Any further discussion on that item? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, and that item is approved. Final item under resolutions, 9.6, Resolution 2521, to accept sponsorship donations for the 2025 Mid-State Classic Softball Games to be held at Ridley Sports Complex on March 18th, 2025, in the amount of $19,000, Ward 4.
Move to approve. Second.
That item's been moved and properly seconded. I didn't know if there's any further update on this, other than looks like the weather, knock on wood, is going to be A-OK. I think tickets are continuing to be sold, but that number might be dwindling in terms of the number of tickets available. We will have to cap it at some point. And also would point out that Columbia's own Savia Morgan had a top 10 catch last night playing left field, which made national news all across the universe today. It was really a fantastic catch on her part. And so we'll get to see her and her Lady Vols in Columbia next week. And thank you to Parks and Rec. In addition to juggling the new arc, they're also juggling their biggest event of the year in terms of single day park event and all that goes into that, with all the teams that are playing, having to turn the fields, et cetera. So really excited about it next Tuesday. I think we have a first pitch being thrown out at the JUCO game by one of our very own. We need to make sure we get that on video, please, Hannah. The council member's first pitch at the Columbia State game. I'm excited about that. But hopefully we'll see you all there and we'll have good weather. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is approved. Final section ordinances, 10.1, second consideration, ordinance 4536, an ordinance amending ordinance 4400, the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia by replacing Article 4 and replacing such Article 4 with a new Article 4 building lot and building site standards. For reasons stated at the top of the meeting, I will make the motion to defer item 10.1. So moved and second. Any discussion on this motion to defer? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is deferred to the April meeting for proper publication requirements. Item 10.2, second consideration, ordinance 4537, an ordinance amending development services filing fee schedule for the City of Columbia, Tennessee, citywide. Again, I'll make the motion to defer.
Second. Second.
Properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, that item is deferred to the April meeting. Next item, 10.3, second consideration of ordinance 4538, amending ordinance 4400, the zoning ordinance of the City of Columbia regarding definitions in Article 9 by replacing such article and replacing such Article 9 definitions sections. Item 10.3, I'll make the motion to defer.
Second.
Properly seconded by Councilmember McKelvey. Any discussion on the motion to defer? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison,
Aye.
Mr. Huffman,
Aye.
Mr. Marshall,
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey,
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest,
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom, Mayor Mulder.
Aye, Aye. Next item, 10.4. This is the only item that we will actually entertain this evening. Second consideration of ordinance 4540 as amended, an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2024 budget ordinance 4503 as amended, providing for the revisions to the general capital projects, grants, and wastewater funds. And I'll just keep the momentum by making the motion to approve item 10.4. Properly seconded by Councilor McKelvey. Hearing any discussion? None. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey? Ms. Seacrest?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. That item is approved. Final item, 10.5, second consideration of ordinance 4541, amending the ordinance 4400, the same being the zoning ordinance of the city of Chloe, Tennessee, by amending standards for short-term rental use within Article 4 and Article 9, citywide livable city. That's item 10.5. I'll make the motion to defer.
Second.
Second is going to come from Councilmember Marshall. Any discussion on that motion to defer? Hearing none, Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey? Ms. Seacrest?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. Item 10.5 is deferred to the April meeting along with 10.1, 2, and 3. All right. Any other business for the good of council before we adjourn this evening? Thank you for those of you who were able to be there for the historical marker dedication. We think this is somewhere around number 14 or 15 that have been done. And again, the importance is not just the event itself, but the importance is the lasting effect that it'll have as people see about it and what we've done, and people walk and drive by and read it to make sure that history is not forgotten. And so I did not know some of the story until sort of getting ready for today, and it's a pretty interesting story, and it's something worth reading that plaque next time you go by where the old Columbia Female Institute used to be. And so again, Mr. Massey, thank you for sort of the vision way back when on that project. I've already mentioned Mid-State Classic. We're all ready for that. Anything else for the good of council? All right, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Mr. Huffman has made the motion to adjourn. We're going to give the second to Mr. Marshall. You were trying to get on the scoreboard. We got you on the scoreboard. Go ahead and put the foam finger on while you're at it, Mr. Huffman. We're trying to do a little PR for all the folks watching on YouTube, so you can come and get your very own. Yeah, that end tonight is got school spirit, and apparently we don't. But anyway. Mr. Huffman has made the motion to adjourn. It was seconded by Councilmember Marshall. Any discussion? Hearing none. Mr. Jablonski.
Ms. Hardison?
Aye.
Mr. Huffman?
Aye.
Mr. Marshall?
Aye.
Mr. McKelvey?
Aye.
Ms. Seacrest?
Aye.
Vice Mayor McBroom? Mayor Mulder?
Aye. We are adjourned.